Nitwa Delphine, ndi umwana mfite imyaka 21, nakuriye mu kigo cy'imfubyi, mfite umwana w'imyaka 5, ni umuhungu. Ikibazo nahuye nacyo muri aruferina naje kuvamo bitewe no gutwita banteye inda, maze kubivamo nza kubyara umwana ufite ubwandu. Nyuma yaho byambereye bibi cyane kuko sinari mfite ubushobozi bwo kuba nabasha gushaka icyo nkora, kuba nabasha gushakisha ubuzima bwanjye ku giti cyanjye nyine. Nagiye gusaba amacumbi mu miryango, mu baturage. Umpaye icumbi aje kumenya ko mbana n'ikibazo n'ubwandu, n'umwana abana n'ubwandu, aranyirukana ambwira ngo nzanduza umwana wanjye, ashobora kwanduza abana be. Ngenda gutyo rero.
In the last decade, Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, has grown into a bustling center of commercial, culture, and activity, home to universities, hospitals, businesses, and numerous opportunities to succeed. But every day, people with HIV and AIDS live in a different Kigali, facing stigma, discrimination, and barriers that affect them socially and economically. If you don't have HIV/AIDS, you may not know how deeply stigma can affect a person's opportunities and relationships. 4 major dimensions of stigma that a person with HIV/AIDS will face are: stigma at school. People with HIV/AIDS must take medications every day in order to stay healthy. But these daily medications can reveal a student's HIV status, especially at boarding schools where classmates share living quarters. Once a student's HIV status is suspected or disclosed, that student becomes vulnerable to discrimination and exclusion. Stigma with friends. Friends share many things together, including interests, hobbies, and companionship, but they don't always share the same HIV status. People with HIV/AIDS risk losing friends by disclosing their HIV status. Stigma in the family. Children with parents who died of HIV/AIDS are often forced to live with extended family members who treat the infected child like a servant and force him or her to use separate dishes and bedding. And lastly, self-stigma, taking cue from a society that doesn't accept people with HIV/AIDS. Infected persons often think poorly of themselves as well, facing the intensity of their own self-judgment and low self-confidence. In the face of this widespread discrimination, people with HIV/AIDS face fear of getting tested and disclosing their status, causing them to not get the proper medical treatment that can improve their lives. It doesn't have to be this way. We are the members of YES, Youth Ending Stigma. We are young adults living with HIV and AIDS in Kigali. Over the last 4 years, the members of Youth Ending Stigma have met at the We Act clinic to support each other in our struggles against stigma, sharing our testimonies with others to bring the right and create dialogue about this important issue of social justice. Our support to each other has strengthened our ability to stand up to HIV stigma, and now it is time for us to stand up for others. We are becoming leaders for change in Rwanda and helping to turn the tide against stigma. We're doing this by supporting vulnerable groups who are marginalized because of their HIV status, in particular young adults like us, who are denied employment, and young mothers who are shunned from their families and communities, or because they are HIV positive. Our innovative approach to turn the tide against HIV stigma is based in the arts and media. We are using theater to stage plays about living with HIV/AIDS so that our community can identify with HIV positive characters and imagine the barriers that HIV stigma creates. We are using music to carry messages of understanding and advocacy for those infected with HIV/AIDS. And we are using photography in public awareness campaigns that challenges stereotypy and promote equality. Our social justice project is a collaborative one, involving and connecting people with HIV/AIDS with the expertise of Rwandan's Ministries of Young and Health, the resources of the We Act Clinic, and the missions of organizations like the Museum of Photographic Art. As we become leaders in the campaign against HIV stigma, we know that joining hands with partners will strengthen our work and quicken the pace of change so that all persons with HIV/AIDS in Rwanda can live to their fullest potential.